Well, I thought I was awesome.
Yeah.
I really did. I believed that I was, I wouldn't say top notch, but I was one of those guys that people would think of when it came to irrigation. And when I got here, I realized that I probably wasn't one of the best, but I had stuff to learn that I just didn't know I didn't know, And once I got here, it just kind of got to a point where you learned something new that you didn't think you needed to know. And then now I can step back and look at it and go, I wouldn't have known a lot of stuff that I needed and didn't know that I needed it. So now I've got a pretty good grasp on what's going on, how irrigation systems work from start to finish. There's a lot of stuff in Oklahoma that just does not work at all, and you kind of scratch your brain for a minute trying to figure out what's going on with it, and then come up here for a week only to find out that all of these problems could have been solved had I had this kind of information before. So I can go up to a customer now and say, I'm going to fix it, and we're all gonna be on the same page, and we're all gonna know exactly what's going on with your system, and I'm good with that now. Before, not so much. I feel like that kind of puts you in the motion for the day. Instead of trying to sit in a classroom all day long and feed you a bunch of knowledge that you need to try to retain, instead, it was really good because you fed me some knowledge that I could work throughout the day, as well as get out in the field, do some hands-on stuff, and actually see with my eyes the stuff that I just saw on a board and that was talked about. So, it worked better that way. Because I've been to classes where I sat there for 8.5 hours, and then at the end of the day you go home, and then you're out in the field all the next day, but it doesn't pertain to anything you just learned. And that's the complete opposite here. I mean, I went through the courses with you, and a lot of the stuff that we talked about was actually done in the field.
So at the Irrigation Technician School, it's 40 hours. And there is 3 half-day of classroom time, and the rest is in the field actually working on systems. And right now we've got it set up so it'll start on Monday, the last week in April, and then the Monday of every week in April. And you pretty much have classroom time with me for about half day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then you go out with one of my irrigation technicians and just start turning on systems. This is kind of when we turn them on, so you'll be able to see tons of different problems, tons of different styles of systems, things we've installed, things other people have installed, systems that homeowners have installed. So there's going to be a vast array of problems you'll see, different turn-on techniques, places with backflows, places without backflows. And what you'll learn in the classroom is going to be, we're going to go over all the key components of an irrigation system, and our systems are all cold weather, so we have stop and waste valves in the ground. Some places have them in the basement, or some regions in the country have them in the basement. Warmer climates don't even have stop and waste, it just comes out of the house. So there's just a ball valve there in the warmer climate, so those are super easy. And we'll talk about pressure reducer valves, backflow valves, stop and waste valves, electric valves, and then we'll go into setting up a drip system, how that should get set up. And then we'll talk about different controllers, the new Wi-Fi ones, and then kind of your standard controller. We'll talk about the different sensors that are available, and you'll see most of those sensors, except for soil sensors, we just don't have those where we're at, but same concept as a rain sensor pretty much. And then you'll be able to see all those different types of systems, then you know how to build them. And the last day in the classroom, we're going to go over how to actually build a system. Pretty just basic stuff. We'll just get some hydraulics, do some hydraulic calculations and flow rates and all that stuff. And then in the class, you also learn basic hydraulics, pressure, where the pressure should be at, pressure is too high, how can you reduce that. If you have a pressure problem and it's too low, there's different ways to overcome that in an existing system, and if you haven't built one, to build a low pressure system that will function. We'll also go over basic watering schedules, and we can cater that towards whatever region you're in. I can just do a little bit of research, what kind of plant types you have and grass and all that stuff, and we can figure that out for you. And then also, probably the most important thing is IDing, investigating, diagnosing all the vast range of irrigation problems you can have when you just show up on a site and the client says, hey, my system's not working. And that's all you know. You don't know if it has no power, no water. So we'll go over all that stuff, how to diagnose the high voltage coming into the controller, see if that's working, diagnosing the low voltage, going from the controller out to the valves, diagnosing pressure problems, how to find leaks, how to find really, really hard to find leaks. There's a couple techniques we use for that. So the class is, it's going to be hands-on. You're going to be able to take some of the stuff you learned in the classroom and immediately apply it later that day or the next day, which is great because sometimes you sit in the classroom all day for 8 hours and then you go out the next day and you just kind of all just lose it out of your mind. Or you travel somewhere, spend a day or two just super intense classroom time, and you come back and you're only going to retain a little bit of that information. So this way we'll give you a little bit of info, and then you can take it, apply it out in the field, and then you come back to the classroom, learn a little bit more, take it out into the field again, and that way you just retain way more knowledge. Through the Irrigation Association, you are able to earn 40 Tier 1 CEUs if you're a member, so that's really great. So you can, I think you need to earn 20 CEUs over a 2-year period, so this is, you kind of maxed it out. I don't think you can carry those over, but you can take this class and you're pretty much done for a couple years. And also, one reason I do this class is just to get more irrigation professionals out there. There's a lot of people that just do irrigation, they just kind of know how it works, or they just kind of hodgepodge it together. So this is just a way to get irrigation professionals out there, which means you will be able to charge premium rates for them, for their time, and you're just going to be more of a top-notch professional company in your area when you got someone that goes to an irrigation problem and maybe they've called 3, 4, or 5 other companies and no one can figure it out, or they kind of mixed and matched sprinkler heads and this and that, and your tech can go out there and figure it out. That first visit, there shouldn't be any return visits like, oh, I gotta go figure out exactly what the problem is, and then they come back a day or two later. They can just go out there and get it all done in one shot. So again, looking forward to teaching whoever wants to come out, and have a great day. Thanks.